All right, so with Form Ranger, what you do is if you have your shared spreadsheet, which as we showed before in this post, you could have many different tabs on the bottom of answer choices and keep on adding to them. It doesn't matter how it looks. What's great about this is, that you can, let me just do a little sort range really quick so it's in alphabetical order, is that say you had list of people, terms, questions, answer choices, all that. If you share the spreadsheet with other people, that means that when you create any sort of forms, you could generate your answer choices without having to type them in with using Form Ranger. So this is how you do it. First, make sure you have Form Ranger. Second thing, what you do is go to your little puzzle piece and go to Form Ranger and hit Start. Now, I could have populated questions here. What's going to show up on Form Ranger is not necessarily how I'm writing the questions. It's just going to show you the questions that you have on your list. I have name and what part of animal cell is one. That's what's showing up on here, okay? So if I add more questions on here, that would populate multiple choice drop-down checkboxes questions here, and I could update my question list. So if I added another question, if I press this button, that question will show up. Cool. Now, how do I put my answer choices in without having to do this over and over and over, or to populate something that is very lengthy, or something that's like a ridiculous amount of numbers, right? Say you needed 100, the number 1 through 100 there. You don't want to type it. It's a waste of your time. So we're using our sheets, and we're going to collectively collaborate, especially if you share amongst a bunch of people. So that being said, how do we put this in? What you do is you click on your answer choice first. You hit populate from a range, and you're going to hit the new range button. What's going to happen here is you're going to select a spreadsheet, that sheet we were working on before, my Form Ranger list. I'm going to select it. Now it's going to locate where on that list, what sheet on that list you want to get the answer choices from. These are just last names. They use the name generator, so who cares? And I'm going to call this last names. Okay, so this is going to remember. Moving forward, this is going to remember these last names, but on top of that, it will always be populated in my Form Ranger of when I pick last names, these will populate. Cool, let's go to the second question. So normally you want to just click on here, but I'm just going to click on here because that is going to put the answer choices on this question. Now we're going to do this again. We're going to populate from a range. I have not created one yet, so I need to go to my little plus button and select that sheet again, right? So in essence, here all I'm doing is just finding my answer choices and plugging them in. So especially if you have a shared sheet amongst a bunch of your colleagues, that means that you don't have to generate all these answer choices. They'll automatically fit them in. So this is a science question. So let me go to my science tab. And this is parts of a cell. And next, let's call it cell. There we go. So if I was to do this as a Google form, when I preview it, I not only have my last name to select from, but I also have my answer choices that are part of my assessment. Now you could do this in many different formats, but that's how you utilize Form Ranger in its entirety. Have fun.